What's good, everybody? Welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host, Wink, and today we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a post-game reaction to the Cowboys versus the Texans. There's some things that had came up that I wanted to talk about that I was thinking about. So I'm gonna wait for a few of you guys to go ahead and get on up in here so I send out them notifications, man. Oh yeah. It's that time, man. It's that time. Yeah. I'm here, man. Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. What's good, Danny? What's good, Homer? 16 painful years, we finally won. Yeah, this was a good win. B. Shell, what's going on? DeGo Watson, what's going on with you, big dog? DeMarcus, what's going on with you? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Watson is a winner. Yeah, he is, man. He's proven that he know how to win in overtime. That's a valuable skill to end up having that you can thrive off of in the future. Overtime games won't be hard for him because he knows how to win. And they getting the play calling right in overtime, and that's a major plus. Hey, Wink, what's going on, J Pack? What's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a few more of y'all to get in here, man. But in the meantime, before we get into everything, how y'all feeling about the game? What do y'all think? And what y'all see us we need to work on? I didn't want Watson to take those hits. Nobody did. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the red zone. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah, he did. He did. We trust me. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of last night. We're gonna talk about it all. If y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're new to the stream, check out my other videos. If you like them, go ahead and subscribe. Um, and make sure that you guys sub to everybody at Saw Sports on the Roundtable. Ed Honcho, Wise Citizens, Hector Flores, Toxic City Teeny, Darren Davis, Rising Phoenix, Breaking News Braylon, Spitz, you know, the whole nine. Yeah, Ray, y'all already know who the lineup is. Um, let's see. Dak Ascot, yep. The fact we won because of two stupid coaches 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, that is kind of but the fact that we even putting teams in situations where they get to make horrible decisions speaks volumes about how they feel about this football team because they know we got a quarterback that can go downfield and make plays, which we've done 2 weeks in a row. And they went to the same player 2 weeks in a row. Nobody has stopped Hopkins in overtime, period. Not with Deshaun Watson, they haven't. Jalen Smith going for the Cowboys, good. Yeah. Jalen Smith, he was playing lights out last night. We're gonna probably get into the things that Dallas did well and what they could have expanded on to win this football game, to capitalize on some of our mistakes. Um, they were getting pressure at times on Deshaun Watson, but it wasn't really enough, man. His legs were entirely too much for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. The fact he was able to roll out of the pocket and he had a clean pocket. Like, the man was 33 or 44 for yesterday. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that's probably like 67, 68%. You know, close, very close to 70%, if not 70%. Somebody probably had to look that up for me and tell me what's going on. Maybe my math might be off. Um, Red zone defense was terrible. It absolutely was. Y'all hit that like button. We got two number. Yeah. Once Foreman comes back, I think we'll be better in the red zone. Yeah, we should be. This game should have been a blowout. Yeah, absolutely. I feel the exact same way. This definitely should have been a blowout. Jason Garrett, remember how the Colts lost going for it, so they just punted it. Yeah. Hey, did we only punt 2 times, right? Yeah, we only punted 2 times because we had great field position. We were going from goal to goal. We were driving the ball on them the whole game. I mean, with the exception of maybe like we were driving on them the whole game. Fairbairn misses that kick, and early we don't even go to foot. We don't even, if he makes that kick, we don't even go to overtime. Um, they were using Smith as a spy. Yeah, they were doing, and they still, even though they had him in the spy, they still weren't successful in containing him. He was still able to roll out and still be able to throw 375 yards against a team with that type of pass rush who had been playing well before they got to us, and we made them look like non-existent with Kendall Lamb and Julian Davenport at tackle. I wonder what PFF is going to write about this. If anybody sees the article, be sure to tag me in it on Twitter or something like that, because I definitely want to see what they had to say about this whole little situation. because I saw a video by them on Friday when I was getting ready to leave work, and they actually did a video where they were actually giving Deshaun Watson some credit for his play. All right, they were using. It's possible for the Bears to go 15-1. I mean, they are 4-1. I mean, we'll see. Deshaun Watson looked dead in overtime. He looked injured. Yeah, I mean, I think he was all right, but I honestly think his equipment was kind of failing him too. Was probably getting knocked out of place and was uncomfortable, and he just probably needed them to adjust it. I don't really think it was nothing, too bad. And Fuller wasn't really getting the ball. That was interesting to see, like, the whole game. I was like, bro, when is Fuller going to get in the game? The tight end stepped up. So, because the tight end stepped up, I'm willing to concede that, Will Fuller didn't have to do much. But had they got Will Fuller involved in this football game, Jesus, bro. There's so many touchdowns involved. But they didn't get him involved, and they should have got him involved in the red zone. I don't know what they were thinking. And J.J. Watt, yeah, he back. He's definitely back. Byron Jones, I knew he was gonna get toasted just the way that he did. Him and the entire secondary. Butler, Byron Jones was getting abused. Whoever was back there, players were getting made on you if you were going against DeAndre Hopkins last night. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, shout out to DeAndre Hopkins for being the man that he is and going out here to be the best, best player on this offense right now. From what I watched, didn't talk. Yeah, they didn't talk. I told y'all they wasn't going to talk about the Texans. Didn't I tell y'all this? I said if we win the game, they are not going to talk about the Texans. They are going to talk about what Dak couldn't do to beat the Texans. And that's exactly what they talked about. They talking about giving Zeke the ball. They talked about but they ain't crediting and they discounting because they don't want people to know how scary this team is starting to become. If we get it right, if play calling and shit like that gets better, I think that's the last resolved issue because you showed you could go ahead and coach and game plan against the top pass rusher and take him completely out of the game. If you make that your main focus, other people are capable of doing it against us all the time. Why don't we use that more? You did it last night, and DeMarcus Lawrence was nowhere to be found. Yeah, he was creating some pressure here and there. He was kind of fighting through, but dudes were finishing him off last night. So shout out to Kendall Lamb and Julian Davenport for really stepping up, and Mike Devlin for getting their game plan right and they blocking scheme, and they called the right plays to help that offensive line out. The O-line had a tremendous game last night. Ain't nobody saying shit in the national media about how the offensive line of the Texans played. Nobody's mentioned that. Yeah, they talked about Clowney a little bit. They talked about J.J. Watt. They talked about the defense and some shit that they was able to do. And bad passes that Dak was making and his receivers couldn't capitalize. They just talked about Hopkins running. Yeah. I mean, they going to talk about that Hopkins. They got to talk about that because, I mean, that's what sealed the game. But Deshaun Watson threw a phenomenal ball over the defender to even put DeAndre Hopkins in a situation to get that amount of rack. Well, he ended up getting, 30 yards after that? Like 30-something yards. I can't even remember, where he caught it, if it was a 12-yard catch and then he just took it. I'd have to relook at it again very closely. But I'm just thinking, man, this team, the moment that they start listening to what we say on South Sports, the more evident that it is that we know exactly what we're talking about. And I'm going to get to some of y'all questions and stuff like this, but I just want to go in and say this because it's it seems every time we say that this team needs to do something and somebody gets it to the coaching staff or they do it, I don't care. It's evident at this point that somebody's listening. Listen, it's actually bringing success. When do we go for tackle first or corner? Honestly, this is how the draft needs to go. And it all dependent upon your free agency. And it needs to go like this. In free agency, it needs to be nothing but veteran tackles and veteran offensive linemen. You can probably get you a veteran corner, but you can still draft you two more. You need to draft corner. If you take care of your offensive line woes mainly, in free agency, it's not as much as a priority, but you still make it a priority because you always want to have the best players on your football team that you can help groom. So later on down the line, if we just have a top offensive linemen just stashed away because the offensive line is playing very well, and he gets to come in and make impacts on certain types of plays, and later on down the line when his number is called, he's already fully developed and he can get on the field and make an impact, and he can trust his body because he's groomed it for a certain amount of time without getting hurt. So all he gets to do is just develop his skill set. That's why keeping your body maintained is extremely important. And y'all hit that like button. Who the fuck would we trade for Patrick? That's a hard trade to pull off. Who, Patrick Pete? Pat Pete? Man, I want us to get him. I definitely want us to get him. He deserves to be on this football team. And I know Honey Badger can get him easy. That's the type of respect. If Honey Badger told him, bro, go ahead, Honey Badger, if you hear me, if this reaches you, every time we say this, I mean, I want this to reach you. Could you please get Patrick Peterson on this football team? It would be, with how y'all just played, Patrick Peterson right now would revive his football career being behind a defensive front like that. Like, he would give so much to this team, and he would be a better returner of the football than Tyler Ervin. But Tyler Ervin has played well as a returner thus far. But we both know Tyler Ervin is no Patrick Peterson. So, let me get to some of y'all questions. I want to see what y'all saying in the chat. Can we beat Buffalo? Absolutely, absolutely. We can absolutely beat Buffalo, but the thing is, they're gonna have to game plan harder against Buffalo than they did against the Cowboys. You need to take Shady completely away from the game, and you need to put Josh Allen in the spots where he has no choice but to throw the ball. You do that with this ferocious pass rush, man. Look, I'm telling you, they're gonna have a field day at getting sacks. Somebody's gonna set a career day. Like, Jadeveon Clowney's either gonna have 3, and he was supposed to have like 3 sacks this game. He need to clean that up, and I know he pissed off at himself. And J.J. Watt whiffed on the sack too, so he could have had 2, and Clowney could have had 3, and Clowney would be at like 5 sacks right now in 2 games back, and that would be crazy right now. And then what would we really be saying about Jadeveon Clowney and Khalil Mack at this point if that was the case? If he has 5 sacks right now, and Khalil Mack right now has 5 sacks, and we seeing, Jadeveon Clowney they both doing major things this year. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying the conversation becomes more so, okay, is he going to earn this money, or is he going to end up getting paid like they are? I mean, who knows what that situation is going to end up being like when it's over. But we're going to end up having the cap space to compensate Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, we don't need a whole lot. We need a couple of corners. We need some offensive linemen. Not every offensive lineman that we're going to go into in this year's free agency is going to be a whole lot of money. Some guys are going to be on bargain deals. Some dudes are going to be like Andrew Whitworth, an older player with still relatively good instincts, good awareness, has technique, and can still play at a high level. You could end up finding a guy like that in free agency next year, and it will be justified if you get him on this football team and they get to play behind a guy like Deshaun Watson. And when you have, weapons like Kiki, the tight end stepped up major this game. Tight end stepped up in a major way. We had been clamoring for the tight ends to get involved in this game, and Ryan Griffin was eating in this football game when he got chances. Jordan Akins made a couple of catches, and yeah, the Titans are overrated. I mean, I know that. I mean, I let them have a moment for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Go ahead and let them have a moment, because at the end of the day, they finna start crashing like the Jags, bro. I can see it right now, bro. And then they just lost Corey. The Jags just lost Corey Grant. You know what I'm saying? So now they got to find another replacement to go behind T.J. Yeldon and Fournette. And Fournette can't stay healthy. Bro, he's only played, like 2 games the whole season? You know what I'm saying? So we in prime position to really beat up on the Jags. And then the Titans ain't going to have nothing to say when we come back. And they got to come to H-Town and we whoop their ass. This is why you don't buy into September football. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And the last 2 games and the last few games, have been won. And the fact that we didn't go 0-4 and we went 1-3, it's something to build off of. These teams are very resilient in overtime. Playmakers are stepping up in overtime, and we're closing games out. Like, Tyreek Hill is like one of the fastest men in the league. He's supposed to do that regardless of who it is. He's just supposed to burn people. It's as simple as that. That's what he gets paid to do. And there's 12 people in here with only 4 likes, man. Y'all even that shit up, please. How many games do you think we have to string together? Man, I'm going to tell you right now, we need to win like the next 4 games in a row to be taken seriously, to fight back from the start. And we have to win impressively. Like, we have to start winning, and this offense has to look the way that it does. And people are going to jump on the bandwagon and start talking about us just as bad as they were last year. And people are going to start, especially if Deshaun Watson gets back to throwing like 3 and 4 touchdowns a game. I think that's what it's going to take. Once you start seeing that, and I think that's what people are really saying, like, they like, he got the yards, but like, damn, what's up with the touchdowns? So if that's what people want, if that's what people want to say, I can't really blame him, because he definitely needs to be throwing more touchdowns than he actually is. Yeah, because he passing the ball. He gonna end up throwing for damn near, at this pace, at the pace that he throwing, he finna throw well over 5,000 yards. If he maintains this pace, bro, he had one game against the first game of the year, and ever since then he's been throwing 350 plus yards a game, 4 games in a row. That's ridiculous, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, Patrick Mahomes ain't doing that. I mean, that's still, I mean, yeah, it's great what Patrick Mahomes is doing, because he's throwing a lot of touchdowns, and we saw what that looked like last year with Deshaun Watson. So we've already been through what y'all, on the receiving end are having right now. But Jalen Ramsey didn't have a bad game, because I saw him locking Hill up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really remember Hill getting, really just beating him like that. I mean, I don't know where you saw that at, but the Cowboys fans were wait, where that? Bro, you're going to have to write that again, DeMarcus. How did the Titans beat the Jags and the Eagles but not the Bills? Bro, those are the type of games. Bro, I've been saying it forever. Those are the type of games that the Titans drop. They drop those type of games. They'll beat a team that's respectable, will get some respect, and immediately lose it to a team like the Bills. And then you wonder why Peter Schrager and dudes was just on Good Morning Football when fucking Taylor Lewan opened his fucking mouth. And, this is what happens. This is why nobody takes you seriously. That's just what it is. I like Mahomes, but you put him in DW for us and he struggles. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The Titans are ass. But no, he would be getting that ball to these playmakers. I believe he would. I believe he would be doing something similar to what Deshaun Watson would be doing right now. He followed him the whole game. Facts to go. Chiefs is built for a regular season. Yeah, we'll see when the Chiefs get to the playoffs. But Andy Reid has not fared well. I mean, O'Brien has not fared well to Andy Reid whatsoever. So, with the way that they playing right now, that definitely scares me. And he gives you a level of mobility that Alex Smith wasn't really using against us. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you still want O'Brien to get fired? I mean, we'll see, bro. I mean, he got this season anyway. What's going on, Texas T? How's it going, man? Hey, man. We told y'all. I mean, we've been told y'all. No matter what position we in, I told you when it came time, we was gonna whoop y'all ass. And we really punished y'all yesterday. It was just the play calling along with a couple of plays and execution, just in there. But y'all saw how many points. Even if we just take, like, field goals, like, we easily put up, like, another 15 points against y'all. Easily. Just off of field goals. Because we were just that far, and we were driving on y'all the whole game. Like, DeMarcus Lawrence, we put him to shame with Kendall Lamb and DeMarcus Lawrence. We have to talk about, can he really be considered a top pass rusher after getting shut down behind a tandem like that in a short week against the Texans? Like, that really needs to be talked about. We really need to talk about DeMarcus Lawrence. How in the fuck was he possibly able to get beat by a team with these type of metrics, and he made almost to no impact in this football game whatsoever? Zeke. We shut him all the way down. I knew from when we shut Gurley down. I knew when I saw Clowney shut down Gurley last year. I knew then. I was like, no, I don't care. I don't think it's no other running back who's more physically imposing in this football league than probably Todd Gurley right now. I mean, you can probably say, you can call the Texans. You can tell the Texans were dominating. Yeah, as a Cowboys fan, I would say good game. Yeah, it was a good game. It was definitely a good game. Definitely was. On both sides of the ball. And yes, the reason why the reason why we'll end up beating the Bills is this is the reason, because we're home. The Bills do not play good against the Texans at home, and the Texans do not play good against the Bills when we got to play them in Ralph Wilson Stadium. Whichever team breaks the cycle first is going to dominate for the next few years with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. I'm be here to tell you that right now. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. We have to game plan much better against them than we did against the Cowboys. They have the defense, and they have some type of mystique. It's like when we play against them, like shit just happens. Like they get like big plays. Like the last time we played them, like they put like 30-something points on us. That's ridiculous. Like, why are the Bills putting up 30 points against the Texans? Like, it doesn't make any sense. No, Lawrence is official. No, I know he's official. But you can't help but actually raise yourself. Like, you knew this was bro, you've been in our streams. You've been seeing us talk about the offensive line. You hearing it from the fans, and fans that you respect of this football team. That's first and foremost. And because you know this, and you know DeMarcus Lawrence is like leading the league in sacks, and the fact that he gets dominated against Kendall Lamb on multiple plays, like, what top pass rusher in the league gets stopped by Kendall Lamb? That's not something you're not thinking about what I'm saying from DeMarcus Lawrence's standpoint. This man is leading the league. You think he know he's supposed to dominate against Kendall Lamb in this game, and he was getting abused. That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. No, he got singled up at times, and Kendall Lamb was still dominating him. So now I watched Kendall Lamb one-on-one handling this dude. We can't even say, yeah, he got doubled at times when we wanted to go big in the passing game. Yeah, in those instances, yeah, okay. But outside of that, the shit was pretty much one-on-one, and he was getting dominated. Brandon Stewart, stop making excuses. Dak has the same number one rushing. Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott, bro. He just went against a much better defense that can't be. Ezekiel Elliott ain't finna really go against too many front sevens the way that the Texans is built like that. But when he gonna see a team like the Texans, bro, with Jadeveon Clowney alone will shut you down by himself. Nobody else on this team even needs to even worry about, anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about that whole situation. I knew the moment that Jadeveon Clowney was on the field, he was going to take care of that whole little Ezekiel Elliott situation. And people took turns on Ezekiel Elliott. Cunningham took turns. Bernard McKinney got his turn. You know what I'm saying? DJ Reader, Angelo Blackson, they got their turn. What's going on? Man, I see there's more of y'all coming on in here. I guess the longer the video, the more people was going to come in because notifications probably wouldn't get sent out. But I'm glad y'all in here now. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all share these on y'all Twitter and all, and any social media y'all got. Mr. Killer KB, what's going on with it? Yeah, that pick six that man, Kareem definitely could have had a nice little pick six that he played that ball so well, smacked it. Man, he broke the pass, smacked it almost to himself. He almost smacks it to himself. And if he gets that, if Dak doesn't have the right angle, because he's the only person with the amount of speed who could even pick up or even get to Kareem in a situation if he picks that ball to even make a play. If he whiffs, that's a touchdown right there. That seals the game, and the game is over. And it's in spectacular fashion. I'll take it. A win is a win. But how did I feel about the 4th and goal play? I wanted them to do a QB sneak, if not kick it. What you talking about at the end? At the end of the game, honestly, bro, it didn't matter what they did. I knew if they run, but I didn't expect Cunningham to get in there the way that he did. When Cunningham stuffed him, and when they showed the play and they showed how Cunningham got in there, I was like, Jesus, bro. Like, Cunningham doing everything he can to redeem himself. Zeke didn't get the ball enough and the right parts of the game, and he didn't. Bro, y'all was killing us with Zeke on fucking screens. Like, them couple of screens, I was like, bro. And then, bro, they played that Honey Badger when Honey Badger came down and blew Zeke up in the backfield. Man, I was like, yes, bro. Because, man, we game playing for him and we game playing for Dak, bro. We really did. We game plan for both of them. We didn't really take our foot off the gas with really none of them, but we kind of put them in situations where Dak was successful when we were running zone coverage. When we were running zone coverage, he was able to roll out and go downfield and do this and do that. And it was just like, bro, like, y'all really finna give up a game to Dak Prescott? It felt like that at points in the game, like the Texans were going to lose this football game. But they didn't. They prevailed, and they just have to expand upon this, and they need to get back to the plays that Deshaun Watson was good at scoring last year. And every time we suggest something, something happens. So honestly, why don't you just do that play action where, Deshaun holds the ball, throws that slant in the background. He can do that to anybody. He can do that for Kiki. He can do that for Fuller and Hopkins. Who's gonna be able to stop it? Nobody. And until somebody does, why stop? Like, you were so successful with that play, put it back in the game plan. Why the fuck are we running goal line? I don't know, bro. It could have worked out. I'm not saying it's some plays in the shotgun that he could have called that definitely could have exploited the matchup. Like, he didn't run no angle routes. Like, even no real good stick routes. Nobody was going down the seam, for no jump route. What's going on, Balin? Wise, what's good? Mr. Killer KB, what it do? David M, what's going on? Clowney could, I said that Clowney could have had 3 sacks easy. JJ could have had 2, and Clowney on here with JJ Watt, and they would have 11 sacks between them. That would be crazy, and this would be the tandem that everybody 11 sacks at a game. A quarter into the season, and they would have that many sacks amongst themselves, would be the best tandem in the league. Nobody else will be able to do that. That means when we go see a team like Case Keenum, because we're going to need all that we got when we go to Denver and we go play them, we need to win that game. That game is going to end up being a statement game. We definitely need to pull that game out when we play them. That's going to be a huge statement game for us. I need a mod on something. Cowboys Day. No, I didn't underrate them. I have been saying, bro, their defense is trill up front. I said Rob Marinelli I wouldn't even went as far as to say right now, how our defense is being coached, he was better than Romeo Crennel. I just said that on the stream a couple of nights ago. You know what I'm saying? You can see me say that verbatim. You know what I'm saying? So I really want this team to expand on what works and keep building on what works. And you gotta add some more variations to what you want to call when you calling some of these plays. Like, you need to run some more trips. You need to run a lot. Like, it's just a lot of stuff that this football team has at its disposal that they just do not use it. If a person with a great football mind and any sense of intelligence on this that was to call plays for this football team would easily know Kiki could get like 8 to 10 catches a game. Will Fuller can get like 11 or 12 catches a game. The tight ends can get between like 13 catches between all of them, and like. And Lamar Miller could get like 5 or 6 catches if they use the team right, but they don't. Not worried about Case. He been mediocre, but he been making some plays, bro. And that mobility he got, has to be contained with this football team. And lesser athletes has beat us recently this season in Blaine Gabbert. So we really can't be affording to think like that. Like, we lost to Blaine Gabbert. We cannot have that mindset. That's the mindset that got our ass beat week 2. We thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and it wasn't. If you got the right coaches, they know how to win with anybody. I'm still waiting for Watson to throw the deep ball. I mean, the routes ain't really developing down there. The routes they not really getting no plays. Well, those type of routes because they shorten the game up like he was supposed to. The deep routes and shit like that is gonna say, bro, dudes is getting wrecked on this football team. Like, dudes is getting yards after catch. It's just happening. Like, dudes is really getting a lot of yak on this football team. Honestly, we left 3 TDs off the board. Oh, yeah, at least 3. At least 3 and at least 3 field goals. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this game was supposed to be a complete blowout. It shouldn't even have been as close as it was. Honestly, it's nowhere near close, honestly, on that drive if Hopkins don't fumble on that drive. Especially after the play that he had in the play he was in the midst of making with the yards that he had just had, and Hopkins, bro, fumbled that ball. It was just like, whoa, what are you doing? When Watson throw the deep ball, there's picks. O-line can't hold people for more than 3 seconds. Rack was aggressive this game. He absolutely was. He played exactly the way we needed to play a lot of fire zone. You needed to blitz, like 5, 6 people, like 5 people at a time. And a lot of times they were blitzing like 5, 4. Like sometimes they were blitzing 6 people. Like, they were blitzing 6 people at times on this football game. Like, I know I wasn't hallucinating. I was like, damn, 6? And the pressure was getting there. You know what I'm saying? So, the D-line played for great, bro. DJ Reader, Angelo Blackson, y'all played phenomenal games, man. J.J. Watt, major games. Davian Clowney, major game. Whitney Merciless showed up in this game. He was creating pressure. He was taking care of that edge. Whitney Mercer was taking care of that edge. He was creating pressure, and people were capitalizing off of pressure that Whitney Merciless was getting off of the edge, because he was beating the tackle. But like, you could just tell, like, dudes were coming in and they were able to help. It scares me how Hopkins holds the ball. I mean, he got 11-inch hands. He wear like 3X gloves. I'm not really worried. He just can't make that mistake. Outside of that, he hasn't really made that mistake. But he can be better. O-line was not good in my opinion. Bro, they played great last night. What are you talking about? The O-line played great last night. I don't know what game you were watching, but it wasn't the Texans versus the Cowboys. Watson didn't give a fuck about pressure. He thrives against the blitz. He's number 1 against the blitz in the league. If you blitz him, it's horrible for you. Like, he's gonna make and create much bigger plays. But against elite receivers, I want to see Rack be aggressive. Absolutely. Mercy pancake somebody. Yeah, he did. Who was the MVP for this game, bro? It has to be Hopkins, hands down. Cunningham played good. We mentioned him. We talked about him earlier. Yeah, the O-line played real good. I didn't expect J.J. Watt to be tied for first in sacks. Yeah, me either. Him and Clowney could have 11 sacks between them right now. If Clowney gets his other 2 sacks that he had, like, clear as day, he had it. He just didn't finish. Man, it ain't no telling how many more sacks it would have been, because the third and longs would have been super long. They would have been like 3rd and 26s, 3rd and like 19s, 3rd and, you know what I'm saying, like 27s and shit. Like, it would have been crazy. Lucky mobile. Yeah, if Dak legs wasn't as strong as he was, and if he wasn't as mobile as he was, bro, honestly, if this was a statue of quarterback, if that was Tom Brady, we get to him so many times yesterday because he couldn't run. Watson was pressured. No, he wasn't pressured every play. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You weren't watching the football game. You must don't know what you're watching when you looking at the offensive line. Because if you're saying that, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not even going to even try to go into trying to convince you, because it's going to take too much of the video of this video if I have to explain it to you. I need to see y'all against a quarterback that can throw with a solid receiving core. We finna see that pretty soon anyway when we play the Broncos. The Broncos receivers is playing good right this year. I mean, it's kind of funny to say that, but like they actually playing good this year. Do y'all play the Chiefs this year? No, we don't. Thank God. No, we don't. Not this year. Clowney and Watt were making Tyron Smith. Yeah, oh, Clowney made Tyron Smith look bad all damn night. Tyron Smith got him early on one play, like on one of like the first drives of the game, and after that, like Clowney dominated Tyron Smith. But nobody in the national media is gonna be talking about that matchup. That was one of the most premier matchups that could have happened in football yesterday, and nobody talked about it. Jadeveon Clowney going against one of what most would call the best left tackle in the game, and he got dominated by Jadeveon Clowney yesterday in pass coverage and in run blocking. Like he couldn't stop Jadeveon Clowney for nothing. He couldn't do anything against. So make sure that this video reaches Jadeveon Clowney because we're gonna talk about it on this show. Jadeveon Clowney dominated every spectrum of this football team yesterday, man. Like Jadeveon Clowney was everywhere. He was stopping the run. He was cutting off the backside. He was getting to the quarterback. He was making the quarterback move in the pocket for other guys to get in position to make the play if he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like he made the fucking pass defense play so much better last night with how ferocious he was dominating on the line of scrimmage against Tyron Smith last night. Like it's so many plays. Like Tyron Smith is not built to go against Jadeveon Clowney, and if he had to go against him on a consistent basis, man, we looking at Tyron Smith in a totally different light. And I am after yesterday because Jadeveon Clowney made him look as average as any other O lineman he's went against the last 3 to 4 years. He made him look average. And name me one person in this league who doesn't respect Tyron Smith at left tackle. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button though. And media won't peep the Clowney performance. Yeah, I mean they kind of mentioned in passing, but they ain't really getting depth and really talk about what he really did in this football game last night. Killing me. The whole O line played very well last night. The sack that I think that they did get was on Deshaun Watson. I don't think it was really on the O-line. Sometimes people say dumb shit. Clowney get traded. Yeah, everybody who was saying that, I was like, I was never on that train. I'm gonna eat my crow on Clowney. I wanted to trade him. I mean, hey, it's good to be real with yourself. What you think of Honey Badger? Honey Badger has played very well, and the way that he came on that play and he blew Zeke up in the backfield, bro. That was a phenomenal play. That was a key play that we needed to make at that point in the game. Zach Martin was getting work. Yeah, he was. J.J. Watt took care of him. And DJ Reader played a phenomenal game against him as well. Connor Williams tried. Yo, yeah, he is. Lyle Collins didn't play good. Like a lot of guys on that team didn't play well yesterday. But we definitely could use Zach Martin on this team next year at right guard. I would love that. Kendall Lamb was very good yesterday. Yeah, he absolutely was. He was like, him and Davenport was probably the best O-lineman yesterday. I like when Clowney line up over the center. I do too. You trust y'all secondary? Only if they play the way that they did yesterday. And that's if Romeo Crennel calls the plays that he called yesterday, because y'all saw how tight these dudes were playing. And if they playing in man coverage, then they can make some plays, but they can still be abused by the better players in this league. I'm not going to sit here and act like they finna dominate against anybody, but at the end of the day, if they schemed up right, and if the pass rush is getting in, and the pass rush is capitalizing more on their negative plays that they could cause against the quarterbacks in this football league, then the secondary can definitely step up. And what would it say about the coaching of this football team if that ends up happening? You have to take this coaching staff serious if they have a turnaround like that. Devontae Love, what's going on? Dak do not have any IQ of reading the opposite of the opposing defenses. Yeah, he looked lost last night. Like he couldn't adjust really to anything. He couldn't step up in the pocket when he wanted to because we made him extremely uncomfortable last night. Like we told you, he was gonna be skittish. He doesn't have the best footwork. Balls were sailing. Yeah, he completed some passes, and it was like that screen game was really getting us. And I'm glad we started playing and well against it later on in the game because screens were killing us regardless if it was the tight end or if it was the running back. What's up with these goal line plays? I don't know. I'd like Alex Smith over. Yeah. If Alex Smith was on the Cowboys right now, they probably win that game yesterday. Dak don't throw the ball down the field though. He's too conservative. Yeah, he is. But honestly, what weapons does he have? And then when he did make a play down the field, it actually got converted. So I mean, I really don't want him in a situation where in yesterday's game, he had that at his advantage. I needed it to be exactly the way it was so that this team can gain confidence and give the citizens of Houston a good show and bragging rights for the next 4 years. Because that's exactly what they did yesterday. And we dominated the Cowboys. Like, we dominated them. Like, I know the score is not pretty much reflective of what I'm saying, but we dominated them time of possession. We kept the ball out of Zeke's hands. Like, Zeke didn't get a chance to really get off because we kept them off the field. We had long ass drives from Deshaun Watson, and shit like that. So I'm glad that the time of possession was definitely in our favor. Trevor Daniel had yet another phenomenal game, man. He gave us phenomenal field position. And that's another reason Dak couldn't capitalize and Zeke couldn't capitalize either and have any solid field position to break off any real big runs with the exception of maybe one or two. But it's just like you can't expect this team to do what they need to do when you're not giving them nothing on the outside. Like Allen Hurns, we tried telling y'all, bro, he is not the answer. We know how to play him. He got that little touchdown, and that was on Jonathan Joseph because he gave up on the play. He thought it was over, and he slacked off. And because he could have made that play. If he'd have been focused the whole time, Allen Hurns doesn't even make that play. But he gave up his focus. He quit on the play, and he scored in the process. You can say whatever you want to. At the end of the day, that's what I saw when I looked at the film. I just listened to, and man, what you just listened to Pat D Stat? Is that who you said? And man, they were really good. Will Kane was saying Cowboys should fire Gates. Yeah, I saw that. I saw everything what everybody had to say this morning. I already seen it. I saw what Skip had to say. I saw what Shane had to say. I saw what Will Kane had to say. I saw Max Kellerman. I saw everybody. I saw what everybody had to say today. And I'm gonna get ready to bring this video to a close real soon because that little 10% remaining is showing up on my damn phone, and I want to keep these headphones in because I don't want my audio to be going in and out because I wanted my audio to be better. But not keeping in mind the two picks, yeah, it would have been a pick six. Yeah, it's so many things, and then J-Joe could have had a pick six early in the game. He could have had a pick six early in the game if he had his feet planted and had he really kept his eyes on the ball, he easily could have had a nice pick six. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button. There's 22 of y'all in here. Y'all need to go ahead and hit that like button. The Titans lost to the Bills, yeah, but the Bills won't beat the Texans in Houston. In Houston is the only reason why we win this football game, and if they play the way that they did these last couple of games. What Skip ass say? Oh man, he was making all kind of excuses. He was talking about Dak not getting it done, and Dak was throwing the ball well, and the Jason Garrett wasn't calling the right play calls, and you do this and you do this, and you hope Will Fuller requests a trade. Why would he do that, Jalen? Why would he do that? He in the best position. Yeah. It was absolutely. I forgot what point I was making. I had just got a phone call on my phone. Those drop picks, man, could have definitely changed the game early on. And I don't see why you would even say Fuller would have to do this. And I told all these dudes that 90 PFF grade meant nothing. Hopkins worked Byron Jones over every time. Absolutely, every single time. Butler, whoever wanted it, whoever they lined up against. Whoever they lined up against DeAndre Hopkins last night got abused. And Boo was better than Miller in this offense. I mean, with the plays that they ran last night, those are some good plays, but they didn't run nearly enough to keep their pass rush at bay. Because honestly, if they would have ran the ball more and had they been more successful with the run game yesterday, the time of possession is probably easily 40-something minutes to like 19 for the Cowboys. Now, Byron Jones made a good stop in the end zone on Hopkins, though. Yeah, but they wish they had DeAndre on their team, bro. Everybody wish they had DeAndre on their team. It's no team that would say they wouldn't want. I hope Will crush the trade. It's a few teams right now that Will Fuller can join for that number one. It was disgusting seeing a great only get 2 targets. What? Bro, they won the game. It's a team game. What the Bro, have you seen how Will Fuller been performing the last couple of games? Like, he been getting a touchdown in every single game he's played this season. And he's been getting a shitload of catches. I mean, I don't know what you talking about. Daniela, what's going on, big dog? I don't know what you talking about. We need an aggressive young coach like McVay. Yeah, it would be great to have that type of situation with this football team, and how aggressive we could definitely be if we had that type of head coach with this type of personnel. But we'll see. Yeah, he got his touches and when he got the ball, he actually made some good plays. Should Bill still be fired? Who knows? Damn, Fournette is out again. Damn, if Fournette is out again, how do y'all view us playing against them in Week 6 when it's time to play them? Will Fuller is very happy. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I don't know what Jalen was talking about. Shouldn't be under Hopkins. No, he's not. No, he isn't. You don't know. I don't know if you can't be a fan of the Texans and say what you just said. So I'm assuming you're a fan of some other team. I'm assuming that, because if you're a real Texans fan, you don't know what you're talking about. If you're a real Texans fan, the statement you just made was so egregious that I'm not even going to address it no more. Honestly, it deserves to be. Honestly, if it gets said again, you deserve to be timed out, because that was just ridiculous. You a Notre Dame? He a Notre Dame fan? Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. He has one game where he doesn't get 10 catches. Doesn't mean he will request a trade. Yeah, I mean, where they do that at? Pittsburgh? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where they do that at. I don't know where they do that at all. You know what I'm saying? Because that made absolutely no sense at all. And it's whatever. That was a ridiculous statement. Like, I know I'm not the only one. I'm like, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Even Will Fuller wouldn't even say that. What are you talking about? Everybody knows who's the star on this football. What? He won the game for us in overtime 2 games in a row. What are you talking about? Wise beat me to it. Yeah. Yeah. I want to give him a chance to think about what he just said. I don't understand what he was thinking. But I'm getting ready to call this video to a close, man. I'm gonna post another video later on today. It's not gonna be a live stream. I'm just gonna post another video with some other key points that I wanted to discuss for this football game. So y'all make sure that y'all tune in and check us out tonight because we're gonna do another show on South Sports at 7. Make sure you guys are there. There's no reason that y'all should be missing the show and y'all talking about y'all ain't getting notifications, because the South starts at 7. It starts at 7 every night, with the exception of game day, and the exception of with the exception of game day, every night is at 7. Every night. There's no night that's not at 7 o'clock. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all new to the channel. If you like the content and you want to hear more Texans talk, make sure you subscribe to me, Third Coast Sports TV. Also, shout out to my brothers at the round table, Joseph Tenney, Wise Citizens. He's here in the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Breaking News Braylon, Phoenix, Mr. Mediocre, Visionary, Spitz, OB Highlights. A lot of guys who represent the Texans, man, in a major way, man. And y'all make sure y'all hit the like video. Y'all hit the like button for this video. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it to a close. I'm gonna send y'all another video, and I'll be on South Sports later on. So it's no problem, man. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You shoot, bro. You go ahead. You shoot me the alley oop. I'm gonna dunk that hoe. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as plain. You know what I'm saying? But oh man, we give shout outs to everybody who holds it down for Houston. So we're gonna bring this video to a close. Welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host Wink, and I'm out.